good afternoon. This is a video of my testimony. A year ago, I had a car accident after getting better from COVID. I had COVID and it hit me hard. I was like 3 months in bed. I was very lucky and very blessed by the Lord. He was taking care of me that I got better. So when the day that I decided to go out to get my tested for COVID-19 so I can go back to work, the by the parking area where I was looking for parking, the speed limit was like 25. I was around already by the clinic that I was gonna get tested on, and somebody just came and randomly hit me on the rear, and he damaged my car completely on the rear, and that man just decided to leave. But while he was leaving, I decided to take a picture, and he saw me get down the card of the plates, and then he decided to come back so he can give me a picture of his ID, and I took it. But he told me, do whatever you want with it. So first of all, I didn't think it was that bad. I said, as long as they fix the car, I'm okay with it. So I went to the emergency room just to get an x-ray, because I did hit from the chair, the driver's chair, to the front of the wheel, and my phone fell down and broke, so I must have hit myself very hard. And they did the x-ray, and when they did the x-ray, they told me, oh, your muscles look very inflamed, so they gave me muscle relaxers and they sent me back home. I did the COVID test, it came out negative, so I said soon I will be going back to work. But when I had this car accident, I was never thinking it was going to become a nightmare. So I went back home that night, and I was already in a lot of back pain for a couple of days, and I was getting stiffer and stiffer. But I said, I'm a therapist, so I can stretch myself, get better, do some massage, and I will get better. Unfortunately, it wasn't like that. The longer I was going, the worse it was getting. My hands started getting numb, my right hands. I am going to school, so it was getting hard to type. My hands were getting numb, my leg was getting numb, and unfortunately, I had to go see a specialist for my back. And they told me, well, you're gonna be doing therapy 3 times a week, and that was it. So I started doing therapy 3 times a week, and the pain got worse and worse. Then my back started getting more swollen. Then I stopped working and started working the days I was working. I started working, I went back to work, and I started working, trying to work full time, but it didn't happen like that. I only was able to work 3 to 2 days a week. The complications came in my back, so I used to wear like those waistbands to tie my back, and it was getting worse. I couldn't sleep with the pain. Every night I had to take painkillers. Then another specialist saw me, and they said, well, we're gonna need to do surgery because now your nerve has been affected. And like that, I took 4 surgeries to help my nerve, and it didn't really help it much. It will help maybe for 2 weeks, and then the nerve problem will come back, and my hands started getting numb again, my legs again, and like that passed a full year of nightmares. I had 4 surgeries first in total, which didn't do anything to me. And by almost January, I think, of like 2021, I went to see one more specialist, because whatever they were doing with my surgery, it was a specialist for the spine and brain. And he saw me, and he went and saw the disc, so he told me, oh, you need a surgery, you need to remove C4-C5, C5-C6, the disc. And I was like, okay, well, the other surgeries were not successful, so why would I want to do something else? But by this time, I was already like feeling that my head was unstable, that I couldn't hold my head up. My hand was getting numb more. I wasn't able to drive as much. The pain was like consuming, so I had to take more painkillers. And what scared me the most, I was even choking on my saliva asleep. So some nights were terrifying to sleep, and I would like stay up and not be able to go to sleep because I thought I was gonna die in my sleep. So he didn't explain much. He just said I needed that surgery. So I went for a second opinion. When I saw the second doctor, he told me the same thing. He said, you know, when the car hits you, you maybe didn't realize, but your spine is supposed to be straight, and you have two discs that are all the way in. So he said a little more, and you will not be here counting it. You could have died in the accident, or you could be completely paralyzed. And I thought of it, and I said, you know, these doctors, they just keep doing surgery to me, and it's okay with them, but they don't know what I go through every time I have anesthesia and everything. So I didn't listen. So I continued to do my therapy, and the pain was getting unbearable. My head was very unstable. I felt like it was going to fall forward, so I continued to wear a brace. And then I went to see my third doctor, and he told me the same thing. He gave me the same diagnosis. He said that I need a surgery. And, you know, I said, you know, whatever you guys say, I don't need the surgery because I already have 4 and they haven't done anything to me. And plus, you're not giving me a guarantee that I'm going to be okay. So I ended up not listening. Then I was praying every night, asking the Lord for guidance, asking him to give me strength to continue, because at this point it was becoming very frustrating. But even my rest time was not being good enough, because at night I was choking with my saliva. So at this point, I said, you know, let's just leave it like that, continue with therapy. But then the court sent me a notice that I needed to see one of the specialists, and to make sure that I bring all my exams and tests. So I did. I brought my exams and tests to the specialist from the court. And before I went to see him, I said, Lord, you know, I'm tired of this. I'm tired to go back and forth, coming home late from therapy, having not enough rest because of my back. And give me the guidance, show me the path, because, you know, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused, and I was so overwhelmed by the pain, by everything they told me. And then, like, you know, people saying don't do the surgery because you're gonna be paralyzed, so you can do that. And yeah, a lot of people, you know, it's true, a lot of people don't recover properly from the surgery. Some of them don't come out well. And I said, well, what is it gonna be now? My job is to lift up my patients and to help them out. What I'm gonna do now? So I ended up going back I went to the court doctor to see him that day, and he told me to show him all the results and everything. And he says, well, you have a disc here, let me see. So with all the results and everything, he didn't say much. But then when he saw the disc, he told me, you know, you need a surgery, right? And I looked at him and I said, no, I don't need it. And he looked at me and he says, yeah, you need a surgery. You're not going to get better unless you get the surgery done. And I looked at him and I said, you can tell me whatever you want, but I'm not getting the surgery. And I don't understand how much I was in denial. But I guess through all the pain I went through the year, I didn't want to tell him, yes, I'm going to go through that process, because I didn't want to go for it. So then he showed me on the computer, and I remember my tears coming out, because I never imagined that this is my spine, and it was only like hold by a little thread, and the rest of my spine was bent, and the rest was straight. And when I saw that, my tears came out, and I told the doctor, I said, doctor, I don't need a surgery. This is gonna get better if I rest. And he told me, no, you know, you can die on your saliva during the night, or if you fall or you pick up anybody, you can be paralyzed. Your spine is gonna break, and nobody's gonna want to put your hands on you like that. So I looked at him, and I couldn't understand that he was already talking to me and telling me all this stuff. But I know that when God talks to you, he talks to people, and definitely that man wasn't supposed to tell me. He even told me when I was leaving, you know, I'm not supposed to tell you any of this, but you need to know that this is very important and that you need to get it done. So I told him, I said, let me get it done by September. You know, the summer is over. I love summer. I said, you know, I'll be spending time out. And he goes like, no, you're not waiting anymore. There's no time to wait. because maybe nobody is going to want to take a chance to have to do the procedure. So he told me, here, I'm approving everything for you. But I didn't believe him. You know, those insurance doctors, I said, oh, he's just teasing me, that, you know, he'll see later, they'll send me another notice to see another doctor. He says, you need the surgery or you're gonna die, and I cannot deny it for you. So I went home, I cried, I've been on my knees, and I said, Lord, I cannot handle anymore. It has been a lot of stress. I've been going through a lot. I don't want this anymore. I want to be in peace. No more surgeries. I just want to relax. And I remember that night when I went to sleep, I said, oh Lord, is it going to happen again? I'm going to choke on my saliva. And throughout the night, I used to wake up only with the fear that I was going to choke. But then thank God that he took care of me during the entire year, because he did. He really took care of me in so many processes, not only this, and so many things that I've been going through, and how good he has been to me. I can't be more grateful to him. I am who I am. And, from all the weakness that I had, he gave me strength to take all this. So after this, I went home, and 1 week after, they called me from the therapy. They said, therapy is canceled for you. You cannot come in. The doctor has canceled the therapy. And then I received a call the next day from the insurance company, which for me was surprising. And they told me, oh, this is the insurance company. I said, yeah. I just wanted to tell you that the doctor approved everything for you. And I knew that was the Lord, because nobody comes for coincidence in your life. Nobody does anything, or don't step in your life for coincidence. God has everything written down. So the insurance normally always tell you, and this woman goes like, I don't know why the doctors normally, decline the surgery, but he approved everything for you. And I started crying, because I had the sign that the Lord was giving me. He was telling me that I needed to get it done. And one more proof than this woman calling me and telling me that normally these doctors don't approve the surgery. And he approved the surgery for me, therapy after whatever process I had done. And I don't know, I was without words. I cried, and I went for it. Guiding myself on the Lord. I heard from many people, it wasn't good for me, but people that love me, and that's because, they love me enough. They didn't want to see me going through another process and suffering. And I set up the appointment. I went. I put it all on the Lord, and those words, Isaiah 12:12, came to my mind all the time. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and will not be afraid, for the Lord God is my strength and my son, and he has become my salvation. And he's my salvation. After I went through the process, I think it has never been like the worst process ever. I woke up and I couldn't swallow anything. The only thing I had was liquid throughout the 2 first weeks. And then my hands, my legs were still getting numb. And I was like, okay, I don't know why I went through this process. I couldn't even bend, move my head to the side. But God has healed me. He's healing me, little by little. And the hospital that I went to get the surgery has the worst reviews. But everybody that was there was so loving to me. I saw all his love surrounded me, and I am grateful. This is already a month from my therapy. They removed C5, C6, C6, C7. I'm still limited in my movement on my neck, and I still cannot bend. But I'm grateful to the Lord, because I'm standing here. And this is a testimony. If you're going through a hard decision that you're trying to make, and anything bad in your path, just trust on him. The Lord will guide you through everything. And believe me, I am grateful and thankful that I did the surgery. I don't feel that my head is moving like before and secure. And the Lord is beautiful, and His time is perfect. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you to the Lord for being with us all the time and not letting us down.